Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm going to do a quick, short, fast, long lesson over adding and subtracting decimals. Either you already have or you will have this glued in your journal that tells you the steps. Now, some of you have been adding and subtracting decimals after you glued this in and didn't look at the steps, so I'm going to do some examples. And with the examples, I'm going to go over each step. Yeah. So the first number problem that we're going to do. First step says line up the place values. So we have 99 and 61 hundredths. Subtract 27 and 632 thousandths. Tens place is over tens place. Ones place is over ones place. If you want to work in the hall, you can. Sit in here and watch. And the tenths, the hundredths are over the place. Step 2 says drop down the decimal. Decimal point comes straight down. Straight down. Right. And step 3 says fill any zeros if necessary. I have nothing here. I can't just subtract and bring the 2 down. That's the mistake I'm seeing on a lot of papers. I have nothing here. So I can put a 0 here because I have 99 and 61 hundredths, but I'm going to add 0 thousandths to that, but it doesn't change the value. But now I can subtract because I can regroup. I take 1/100th from my hundredths, break that into 10 thousandths, and so now I have 10 thousandths, subtract 2 thousandths, I have 8 thousandths. Oh no, I can't do 0 hundredths, subtract 3 hundredths. So I've got to regroup from my tenths. I take 1/10 away, so now I have 5 tenths. I take that tenth and I break it into 10 hundredths. So now I have 10 hundredths, same value. I'm not changing the value. 10 hundredths minus 3 hundredths is 7 hundredths. I cannot do 5 subtract 6, so I've got to go over to my ones. I take one of the ones from here and I turn it into tenths, or like dimes. And so I'm going to change that 5 dimes. I'm going to add 10 dimes to it. And so now I have 15 tenths. Now I can subtract. 15 subtract 6 is 9. Is that right? 9. And then I move over, I can do 8 ones, subtract 7 ones, and get 1 ones. 9 tens, subtract 2 tens, gives me 7 tens. I followed the steps. Lined up the place values, drop down the decimal, fill in any zeros if necessary. You're not going to do these in your head. So when you come up and say, what do I do with this? I'm going to yell at you if you don't have paper to show me what you're doing. Let's look at the second one. 28. Oh, wait a minute. We got to line up our place values. This one has a decimal, but this number doesn't have a decimal. What digit's in the ones place? Good, the 8. Our decimal point always goes behind the 8. Brindley, you watching? Decimal point always goes behind the 8. We're going to add 29 and 69 hundredths. This is addition. If I were to estimate, and I got that's close to 30, that's close to 30. 30 plus 30 is 60, so my answer needs to be somewhere near 60. I fill in some zeros here. And adding 0 plus 9 is going to be 9. 0 plus 6 is going to be 6. 8 ones plus 9 ones is 17 ones. 2 tens, 2 tens, and 1 10 is 5 tens. So my actual answer is 57 and 69 hundredths, which is close to my estimate because my estimate was 60. We have 73 minus 2 3/10. Once again, I don't see a decimal point. But I know my 3 is in the ones place. I know my 73 is a whole number. My decimal point breaks up whole numbers in parts. So my decimal point's always behind the ones place, even if you don't see it. We're subtracting 12 and 3/10. Drop down the decimal. Fill in any zeros if necessary. It is necessary. Because what I'm seeing is people just bring that 3 down. No, 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 no. That is not the way it works. Now I have 0/10, and I need to take 3/10 away from that. You can't do that. So I have to take a 1, break that 1 into tenths. So I have 10/10. I need to add to this. I have 0/10, so I'm adding 10/10 to 0/10, and I'm getting 10/10. 10/10 subtract 3/10 is 7/10. Then I have 2, subtract 2 ones, subtract 2 ones is 0. 7/10 subtract 1/10 is 6/10. So 60 and 7/10. Last but not least, I have 55 and 7/10 plus 8 and 39/100. Move the decimal down. Add any zeros in if necessary. It's not really necessary on addition, but it's vital on subtraction. When I just add, I can add 0 plus 9, I get 9/100. I get 10/10, which is 0/10 and 1/1. I can get 8 and 6 is 14 ones. And 5/10 plus 1/10 is 6/10. Follow these steps, and you'll be fine. Filling in the zeros is where people forget. When they just bring down what's here, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work. Boom! Shakalaka, peace out. God bless, love you. Do something kind today. Save the bees, and you never saw me.